Infinity War is almost here, and we're going to talk about it, but Torey and Brandon aren't here. So let's call them with this thing that I just found. Brandon! Oh, wow, it worked! Alright, now let's get the other one. What's his name? Jerry, I think. Torey!
Ow! Oh, God! Ow! Oh!
Is he dead?
Ow! 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare it an Infinity War.
Alright, I'll just bring him back to life.
Does your pre-established powers make you do that? I don't know.
I don't know how it works.
I don't know how it works. I don't think they do either.
There's too much power for one man, so let's just
give it to the duck.
Give it Howard the Duck. So yes, Infinity War is almost here, and we thought it would be fun to talk about the movies that have come before it.
Put it on the floor.
Put it on the floor. There we go. So we're gonna just give some of the discussions will be long. Some of the movies we don't have really much to say anything about. First of these was Iron Man, and this was like
10 years ago.
10 years ago, and also it was amazing because this was the time when Robert Downey Jr. was getting arrested, and
this was right after
he got
sober.
You could say this actually helped him become a bigger star and a better person, because he's seen charity stuff that he's done for people, and he's actually hosted like screenings for fans to see movies. But let's get to the movie. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I saw it in theaters. I went in knowing nothing about Iron Man, Brandon, like everyone. And I don't remember how I was told to stay after the credits, but I remember seeing it the second time in the theater, stay after the credits, and I was like, oh, this is just a joke, or nothing's gonna happen with this. What are your guys' history with Iron Man?
I remember seeing it at a very cheap theater when it was like sent to like the $3 theater. Mm-hmm. As a little kid, I thought, man, this movie was pretty damn good. I thought it was cool seeing Iron Man. Unlike you, though, I didn't know about staying after the credits was a thing until Thor, and that's when I...
You mean the Thor movie, or you mean...
First Thor movie.
Okay, yeah.
So I didn't know, people were like, oh, you gotta stay after the credits, you gotta stay after the credits and all that. Because then when we talk about Iron Man 2, that's when Samuel Jackson showed up. I'm like, what the heck? He just shows up.
Because that was like, people were confused, but Brandon, what was your experience with Iron Man?
I didn't see it in theaters.
Because you didn't really know much about... None of us really knew who Iron Man was. He wasn't as...
He was a C-list hero, played by a D-list actor, because they couldn't get Tom Cruise.
I remember the thing I saw Robert Downey in before Iron Man was Shaggy Dog. He was the villain in that.
Oh, yeah, he was in that. See, I saw him hit mugshots. But
Did you like Iron Man?
I got it in Netflix. Actually, I may have seen The Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk first?
Yeah, I may have. It was around the same time I got it from Netflix. My brother saw it in theaters. Like, watched it. We saw it. And like, it's pretty good. So we didn't see the after credits, but we went to the deleted scene and we saw, I think, the Samuel L. Jackson scene of the Avengers. We had already known that they were going to do the Avengers, because I think they saw Hulk first. We assumed.
Yeah, but did you like...
At some point they announced it because we watched it on Netflix.
Did you like Iron Man? Or did you rather...
Thought it was alright. They talk about Burger King a lot.
They do.
That's probably because they didn't have a script when they were shooting, but
I do remember that. I think it was fine. Obadiah Stane, not technically a film that makes sense, but still fun because it is the dude.
Yeah, they didn't have a script.
Right, and
they didn't have a script.
That was Iron Man. It was a game changer. No one really believed it was going to do anything.
Thanks, Jon Favreau.
Then there was the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, which had Edward Norton playing the character. And as Brandon said, this wasn't at the very end, but during the end, you see Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark.
I remember we stayed. Robert Downey Jr. Because we were talking about it during the movie, like the missiles, they say Stark on them. So like, does that mean Tony Stark's going to show up, and at the end credits, there he comes.
And I like the Incredible. I know a lot of people, including MCU, they don't really mention the Incredible Hulk that much.
They kicked him out, like Terrence Howard in the first time.
As to whether who's the better Hulk, that's up for debate. But there
Eric Bana.
What I would remember from the Hulk is there was a lot of stuff that never is revealed again, like the leader's creation, although they reveal what happened in a comic book, what happened to him. But
good.
I know.
I gotta read a comic book for my comic book movies?
Comparing Incredible Hulk to the Ang Lee Hulk, I think the Incredible Hulk was actually not a great film, but fun. I thought it was a fun film, and unfortunately we haven't seen solo Hulk films because technically Universal does own The rights. You can actually, I'm sorry. What did you guys think of the Incredible Hulk? You remember that one?
I didn't see it in theaters. That one. I don't really like Hulk. Probably I don't like Hulk until maybe Avengers 2. Or actually no, even Avengers 1 I liked Hulk.
You never been a Hulk fan?
I've never really been a Hulk fan until Avengers. But when this one came out, I didn't see it until maybe 5 years later or whatever. It was okay. It kind of threw me off the fact that it was not Mark Ruffalo and not Edward, and it's not Edward Norton anymore. But I mean, for the most part, I thought it was okay.
Brandon, what do you think of Hulk? The Incredible Hulk.
Thought it was alright.
Yeah, you have any major problems with it, or just didn't really leave much of an impression?
It didn't really have much impact. It's kind of, it almost felt like a sequel to
The Ang Lee one?
the Ang Lee one, because at the beginning they already open up with the origin story. He's already
Which was actually a very smart idea to do the origin story like in the opening credits. Mm-hmm. For Hulk. I thought that was pretty cool. We then had Iron Man 2, which I remember there was a lot of hype for.
What?
And then people saw it, and it was I've only seen it once, and I didn't care for it. Like whether it's Mickey Rourke, take away the stuff behind the scenes drama, where Ricky Rourke is like, I want my bud the whole time. He's fascinated with his bird, and
That's my favorite part of the movie.
And pretty much the main villain is Justin Hammer, which you'll see in the Iron Man films. The villains are always men in suits, basically.
Yeah.
And people said Iron Man 2 is just a big tease for the Avengers, and they throw Black Widow in there.
And War Machine.
War Machine's in it, which is not... What's his name? Terrence Howard?
It's Don Cheadle this time.
No, I'm saying Terrence Howard was the original War Machine. Yeah, it's Don Cheadle. It was War Machine.
Rip.
Next time, baby won't come. I did not like Iron Man 2. Torey, Iron Man 2. That was it.
It's a movie.
That exists.
It existed. I mean...
Do you know Spider-Man's now in Iron Man 2, technically?
Oh, because of the stupid little kid that wears the Iron Man hat.
Because they retconned it, the Spider-Man's gonna be at the World's Fair. Oh.
I was like, when Thor comes out, that's when I will get it more. But I was expecting no more Iron Man. I was expecting just another person to show up like Thor. Like we could have just skipped to Iron Man 2. I mean, they could have introduced Black Widow maybe at one point or another during the whole MCU. Like even her appearance in Avengers, I like her more in that one.
I agree. She has a stronger performance in the event. She actually
Bang,
keeps getting better.
bang, bang.
Brandon, what did you think of Iron
I
Man?
loved it when it came out.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, I love Sam Rockwell.
Okay,
I love Sam Rockwell. I loved it. Going back on the fight scene, I timed it at the end is 3 minutes.
Oh.
Exact, like 3 minutes 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like exactly. And that's the whole climax is 3 minutes.
You're not really
and the rest of the movie is him talking with Pepper.
You're not really a fan of Iron Man 2 anymore, or do you use it mostly because of Sam Rockwell
I
dancing?
like Sam Rockwell.
That's
I
Brandon.
really like Sam Rockwell, and I like McGlure. He goes, "I'll take you, bird." He puts the bird in a bag.
So that was.
Otherwise, nothing really happens in that movie. I keep forgetting that Black Widow's in it.
I keep forgetting Mickey Rourke's in it.
And when he's dying, the plot is that Iron Man is dying.
Yeah.
So he goes to donuts and he tries to kill himself and he gets drunk. And they try to do the drunk storyline, but they made it to a joke.
Yeah.
There's military stuff.
I remember, and
And he gets to talk to a panel.
Mhm.
Gary Sheehan.
Oh
Rest
yeah,
in peace.
he'll be coming back. Yeah, Iron Man 2 is not really a fun one. Thor, had Kenneth Branagh directing.
Oh god, I didn't see it.
Let's talk about Natalie Portman.
The main character of Thor, Natalie Portman, and not Thor.
It's Hunter's favorite quotable movies.
Really?
Yeah,
Because it's terrible and takes place into it.
He'll always quote the one scene with the coffee. He goes,
It's Lion
I need a
King.
horse.
I remember that line.
It's Lion King.
It is. It was cool.
It was I thought it looked very cool. He had the helmet for like 5 seconds. Oh no.
Oh no!
We just destroyed Earth.
I destroyed
What was
everything.
cool? I think what was cool about Thor was the fact that it wasn't Earth anymore, and we were going
For about 8 seconds.
Like
Or
I
they
thought,
would go somewhere
I liked
else.
Kenneth Branagh directing it. A lot of it was pretty bad green screen. Thor, I didn't hate the character. I just thought
At the time,
at the
I
time
didn't care.
at the time I was just like, I don't really know about Thor, so I don't know what this is. I hated Kat Dennings. I hated her so much, and Natalie Portman. I don't know. I do feel sorry for the.
Oh,
Natalie
don't worry.
Portman.
We're gonna get.
We'll get into that for Thor 2. Brandon will have a lot to say about Thor, but it also gave us Loki, which, from what I understand, Loki was supposed to die originally, right?
Yeah.
And but then he had such a
He's
huge...
supposed to be a secondary villain.
But Brent, what did you think of Thor?
I didn't see it until years later.
Uh-huh.
I missed it. I'm like, no thanks, I'm done. I didn't see it till like after the Avengers.
What did you think when you finally saw it?
Oh, good.
Yes,
Oh, good.
it also
Thor.
It also gave us
There he is.
It also gave us Hawkeye for like 5 seconds.
In the dark silhouette.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where he's going for the rifle, then he goes for the bow.
More Coulson! More Coulson!
Captain America. This is a guilty pleasure because even though this movie is real,
This is one of my favorites.
it's not. It's not like great. I mean, I love it. The style. I love. It's Joe Johnson, right?
Yeah.
I love the style. I love. There's all the buy war bonds, and there's all the fake Hitlers. I like it when he's doing
The play, and then there's the fake
play.
Hitler.
I like Hugo Weaving as Red Skull, even though he probably didn't. The only downside, I'm not really a big fan of that effect for Chris Evans. I mean, it didn't look.
Oh, I
His
thought
big head.
I thought it was opposite. I thought it was the skinny guy that turned out.
That was
That was
really.
a legitimate thing.
That was really weird. I like the.
didn't notice
I like the guy who played Howard Stark, and I like Haley Atwell as Peggy.
Three people played Howard Stark.
Oh yeah, I know. There's okay. I like young Howard Stark.
Which one?
And I also like those all because Chris Evans was really good as Captain America. This wasn't his first superhero film. He did Human Torch in the 20th Century Fox.
Human Torch.
Captain
I
America.
liked it.
it.
Yeah.
I saw it in theater.
But let's talk
It was the
about
first
what
one I saw in
happens at the
theaters.
end. If you went and saw
He
this
died.
in theaters, well, yeah, he died. If you went and saw this in theaters, and you know what happens when you stay after the end.
They got a little preview for Avengers.
Oh!
I remember.
You
that.
got a preview for the one scene they had done for the Avengers, which was them sitting around a table talking. And me and my friend turned to each other and said, "Where's Hulk?" Because he wasn't in the scene. There was not even Mark Ruffalo was not even in
Yeah.
the
So
scene.
did we know at this point that they changed Hulk actors? I'm not sure if we did or not.
I didn't know personally, but
Captain America fun. Avengers. I remember seeing this. Like I was doing a play. I was doing a play at school, and immediately after playing it, we all went to the downtown Disney to see the movie, and it was probably one of the most fun times I've ever had in the theater. Like the audience reactions and all that, and it was mostly a comedy. It was I could consider a bit of a comedy also.
That's
because-
when I knew that this whole entire franchise is gonna go freaking
well, that's when Disney bought
everywhere.
it.
Yeah.
Disney bought it as right after Captain America came out. It was still Paramount and a bank
Yeah.
that were funding all the films.
My favorite thing is when you look at all the DVD covers on the thing, it's like Paramount, Paramount,
Yeah.
no, Paramount, Universal, Paramount, Paramount,
Disney.
Disney, Sony.
Was it?
It's like, oh.
It was so much fun, and I kind of like Mark Ruffalo a little bit more than Norton, although I do love Norton as the Hulk. Loki's back in it. It's the main villain.
And then we get our first appearance of Thanos.
Thanos, who at the time
Thanos.
I had no idea who he was when I first saw it.
I know who
I remember-
he was.
I
He was the
remember-
guy who lost to Spider-Man in the Whoopi Pie commercials in the 50s.
Did you know who Thanos was at that point? or
No,
not?
because at the time I was like, I don't even remember how old I was, but at the time I was like, oh my god! I'm like freaking out because I'm like, who is? My mom's like, who is that? I'm like, that's Red Skull.
He did
And
die
then I'm
after all.
like, but he's purple.
And that's what everyone was saying. They said that Thanos was actually Red Skull
In space.
in disguise because they knew Thanos was comics, but they kept for what was it? For at least 8 of the 10 years it's been going,
Oh.
they've
And then
been
we
teasing
don't
Red
see
Skull to
him.
come back in a movie,
Oh, you're saying-
and he never did.
But you're saying that he was Red Skull in disguise of Thanos? That ties in perfectly to Iron Man 3.